Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone Talks. I hope you're doing well. I can see there's a lot of you in the chat at the moment. Nice to see you all, and it's nice to see some new faces in the chat as well. So you're probably wondering why I'm all streaming. Well, I think it's we need to have a little chat. So as you remember on this channel last year, I think it was last year, it may have been at the end of the year before that, could have been. People in the chat will obviously remember, but we did a whole stream on fandom and the effects that fandom can have on people's mental state, mental health. And as we have seen in fandom, especially since I've been doing what I've been doing the last 5 years, we have seen an ugly side to fandom, which is not nice at all. Now, what a lot of it's never really discussed that much, and it should be, but the mental health side of it, when you don't agree with someone, okay, and we've all been guilty of it, including myself. You don't agree with someone and you might be overzealous, or you might go a little bit over the top. I try not to do that now, because we got to be aware. I was watching a friend stream and they were making the point where we don't know what their lives are like at home and behind closed doors and stuff like that. And the message that I tried to get across in the last stream was, it doesn't matter what you like and what you dislike. It doesn't give anybody the right to go and send death threats and abuse to people. And it's affecting people's mental health. And this is a thing in fandom that we do not talk about. The radical left will always talk about how their mental state is being affected. But none of the media or anybody out there will discuss the fact that fans that do have the courage to speak up and say, look, I don't like this, are being abused, attacked, harassed, sent death threats. We've seen also on Twitter with some of the big YouTubers being swatted, all because they have a different opinion to certain people out there in fandom. And, this has been going on. Look, it's probably been going on longer than I've been on this particular platform. But for 5 years, I've experienced all of that. I've been sent pictures of beheadings. I've been told to top myself. And then when the pandemic came along, people were telling me, oh, well, I hope you get that and you pass away. They targeted me wife. They targeted me friends, and this has all had an impact. Of course, it's had an impact. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it hasn't affected me. Of course, it's affected me. It's affected me quite deeply. The difference is now is that I've got a good group of people around me. My wife is my rock. And then obviously I've got people here that support me and are all over social media, support me and saying nice things in support of me. And that helps. I'm not going to lie. It's nice to hear when people think what you're doing is good. And that's all I've ever tried to do on this platform. Look, people mightn't agree with my opinions, right? You mightn't agree with my opinions. You might think that I'm wrong. That's fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's an opinion. And I think that's where society has failed. You know, a lot of people take their opinion. Well, if they have that opinion, well, then they're of this opinion and they're of that opinion. So you're being judged. They're judging a book by its cover instead of actually reading the book and finding out if it's any good. Same with people. You know, instead of judging them by their political beliefs and all of this other nonsense, get to know the person before you start attacking them online. Now, we've seen over the last 5 years, and I'm not going to mention names, but we've seen over the last 5 years, we've had a lot of women that used to support this channel that have been bullied and harassed offline. We've seen that. We've seen other people and even other big YouTubers that have just had enough and decided to call it a day because, you know, they've got better things to be doing than fighting with people on the internet. So they've decided to pack it up. And who can blame them? Who can blame them? You can only take this for so long, you know, and, you know, there's particular YouTubers out there that have been on the platform even before I have that have decided to call it a day because of all of this. All because of an opinion. All because they don't like a certain TV show or a movie. Right? Now, the media, in my opinion, are just as responsible as the fans that are going around harassing everybody, if you want to call them fans, right? We'll just say fans just to simplify, but we know deep down that most of these people aren't fans. They're either fans of the actress or the actor or the belief of that actor and actress. That's it, right? They're not actually fans. So, you know, there was a particular incident just recently with an actress from a TV show that's been panned all over the shop. And she decided to retweet a few people, including myself. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't gotten any blowback from it. Of course I have. Some people obviously weren't happy with what I had to say, but the actress tried to twist me words. Now, it was pointed out to me if I hadn't commented in the first place, I wouldn't be dealing what I'm dealing with now. But sometimes, and this is just my opinion, sometimes you have to speak up when these people are talking out of their arse. And that's exactly what I did. Then they tried to twist me words. And then I says, here, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. It's not what I said. But funny enough, no response because that's just the way it is. Hey Noel and all, just checking in. Says Lindsay, nice to see you, Lindsay. I hope you're doing well. We've got other people in the chat as well. TARDIS Spider, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We got the legend in the chat as well. Peter is in the chat also, and we've got Tens Hoovian in the chat as well. Who else said TARDIS Spider? Didn't I did indeed. Garbage James is also in the chat, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Nice one. I don't know why did I do that? Okay. So we decided, as I said a while back, to highlight the issues in fandom, and we done a stream, and we brought people on that had experienced some form of harassment and abuse in the fandom because of their opinions. And what we basically did was we got people on to tell their stories, to share their experience. Now, it is understandable that for some people it's still very difficult to talk about. But I do remember after the stream, everybody in the chat, just before we'd called it a day, and everybody in the comment section and everybody on Twitter then after the stream had said to me that they were delighted that I had done it because it made them feel, they thought, you know, a lot of people out there that are receiving harassment and abuse on a daily basis, you know, they do feel rather alone. And to those people that had gone through that, to hear that other people had similar stories, it really gave them some strength. It gave them strength to move on from this, and to realize that, at the end of the day, these people are just, look, society. I've just been recently just thinking about everything, and I have to say, we're living in a cold society. I mean, recent events around the world have shown we're a cold society. And it's sad because, I do believe we've gone backwards. We as a human race can achieve great things, but we're going to end up destroying ourselves. This could be the end of civilization as we know it. And it's sad because we could accomplish so much if we just truly work together. The radical left will talk about working together. They're not about working together. If you don't follow their ideology, their beliefs, there is no working together. And this is why people like myself will always stand up and speak, and will give a platform to the people that feel like they can't speak up. And I will never stop doing that. That's what I'm proud of, giving people a voice. So that stream went well. Now, I never thought I'd have to do another one, because after that stream, everything did actually calm down a little bit. It was kind of weird. And then all of a sudden, then the Doctor Who fandom was rocked. Well, we weren't rocked, but they were rocked by the fact that Chibnall and Whittaker were stepping down. And then it started up again. The abuse and the attacks started up again, because the fans of this era, and I mean the radical ones, not the ones that, there are genuine fans of this era that haven't engaged in any nonsense, right? So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that have, right? Now, they didn't like the fact that she was stepping down because, according to them, for the last few years, she was getting 5 series, right? It wasn't 3 series over 5 years. It was 5 series that she was getting. She was going to be the longest serving Doctor and all of this and blah, 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 blah. But that hasn't transpired. So they've been looking for someone to blame for the failure, because they know now, and they realize now, that this show was a complete failure. And it was. And they can, they can chest out, and they can, and act all big and say that this show was a success. It wasn't, right? That's the bottom line. It actually wasn't, right? And the last 2 specials especially have shown that people have just lost interest in this. BBC not even promoting this centenary when we're probably only a few weeks away from it. They've only recently decided to murmur about it. But we've gotten absolutely nothing in comparison to what we got when Series 13 first dropped. I mean, she was all over. She was all over the place. She was on every magazine. She was on everything. This is depressing. Where is the fun? Well, I did this. Look, there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't mean to be depressing, but we've got to highlight. We've got to highlight the issues that are going on. People's mental health are being affected by the constant bombardment from people who do not like people who have different opinions. And, it might be boring to have this conversation again, but at the end of the day, we've got to have this conversation because, recently we've seen, look, you look at the Noel Clarke situation, you look at how his mental health has been affected, right? And then look at the fact that if you support him, the abuse that you're getting, you're being called names. You're supporting Noel Clarke, well, then you're the same as him. This is what you get, right? So, at the end of the day, these discussions have to be had. Other channels, out there won't touch these kind of topics. But we've got to highlight it. And I wish the bigger channels would highlight the effect that all of this has on mental health. It's very important. It's very important. So I won't apologize for doing this little stream, because at the end of the day, we've got a serious issue in this fandom. And it's in all fandoms, by the way. But obviously we're Doctor Who fans, so we'll concentrate on Doctor Who. But the Doctor Who fandom is in an awful state. You've got fans that are afraid to even open their mouth, because they know once they do, they're going to be set upon. And we can't have that. It's been going on for too long. And, a lot of Doctor Who channels out there have ignored this. Especially on the other side of the fandom. Their Doctor Who channels don't talk about the impact of mental health. And they're responsible for the way this fandom has turned out. Look, as I've said, in 5 years, have I made mistakes? Absolutely. I said this the last time, and I've been saying it quite a lot, actually. Right? But you learn from your mistakes. We've all made mistakes. But at the end of the day, we've got people leaving the fandom because they've been abused and harassed out of the fandom, because they dare to have a different opinion over a TV show. This is how crazy and insane this is. People are literally being cancelled, being swatted, being sent death threats because they don't like a certain TV show or a movie. I'll say that again. They're being sent death threats, abused and harassed because they don't like a TV show or a movie. Even saying that sounds insane. It's insane. Right? Who do these people think they are? Right? If you like the show, fine. But understand that people out there didn't like it. But it doesn't give you the right to be sending death threats and abuse to people and running people out of the fandom because you don't agree with them. And then to slander and make up things about them as well. So this is what I'm doing. And this is why I wanted to do this little chat. After watching a stream last night from a friend of mine, that and this friend that I have, right? We had a falling out. But we were able to put our differences aside. We were able to come together, and now we're back friends again, because it was nonsense. It was all nonsense. We fell out over nonsense, but we were adult enough to get past that and move on. But after I saw his stream last night, and I know some of you have mentioned his name in the chat. That's fine. I'm not going to mention it because, he did his stream, and you know what I mean. You know who it is. But when I seen that and I saw his face, I could see how upset he was. And I said, that's it. I'm done with all of this. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be said. So this week, I'm hoping to host a stream, and I would like people to come on that have stories that they want to share about how they've been treated in this fandom. Now, as I said, I appreciate for some it's going to be hard to come on and will not be able to come on. But if you'd like to share your story in the chat when we do this stream, and I'll throw it up and I'll read it out for everybody to hear, because I think it's important that these fans understand the impact that they're having on people's mental health. Now, I thought after I did the first stream, I think it was last year or the end of last year, the year before, right? But we did do a stream on mental health, and we did bring on people and they told their stories. And the response to that and the reaction to that stream was positive. It had a positive impact for some people, and some people were shocked and horrified to hear what's actually going on in the Doctor Who fandom. Because remember, there's a lot of fans out there that have turned a blind eye, or sitting on the fence, or haven't opened their mouth. And there are some that know that this is going on, and they're even worse because they won't speak up. Right? But this is why this topic has to be highlighted. It's affected me. Right? I've told you my story. I'm not getting into it. This stream that I do, by the way, everybody knows my story. I don't need to repeat my story again. You all know what I've been through these last 5 years, right? I don't need to rehash all of that again because you know it inside out, right? This is for other people to come on to share their stories, and I'll just be hosting, and that's it. But I'd like people to come on and share their experience. And I do, and I will say this, I understand how difficult it's going to be, because it's not easy to talk about your experience. It's not, right? But I will say this, once you get it off your chest and you see the reaction of everybody, and then you get the support that the support that you're going to get, you will feel better. Trust me. So I'm hosting this stream because I think it's vitally important, because we could have situations like Caroline Flack. And that's one thing I don't want. People need to realize that it's a TV show, or whatever you're complaining about. It's a TV show, it's a movie. You don't need to be going sending death threats to people because you don't agree with them. If you enjoy it, go and enjoy it, right? And if it bothers you so much that people have a different opinion, or might have a negative opinion, or you class as a negative opinion, so what? It's an opinion. They're not stating fact, they're stating their opinion. I just thought after RTD was announced that this Doctor Who fandom would actually calm down. And for a brief moment it did. And I was actually optimistic. And I still am optimistic for RTD himself. But I was optimistic that this fandom could finally heal, that bridges could be built, and people could just get on with each other. Even if it was an uneasy truce, just for the sake of the fandom and for the sake of people's mental health, that we would all just try and get on with each other. And for a brief moment, we did get that. For a brief moment. And this is what makes this sad, because we saw for a brief moment when RTD was announced, the fandom coming together in joy. Nobody was having a dig at anybody. It was RTD was back, and that was the focus. And then when we heard David Tennant and Catherine Tate were returning, again, the fandom came together in a way that I'd never seen before. And for a brief moment, in those two moments, I thought this fandom could truly move on from this era. But we're back to square one. And it's going to get worse in a couple of weeks' time, because the last episode is about to drop, the centenary special. And after that drops, and after it's all done, it's going to get unbearable in this fandom, because the finger pointing is going to start again. They're gonna try and assign blame on people that they call not my doctors, and it's going to be an absolute shit show in this fandom in a few weeks' time. And I, again, as I always do for any episode that comes out, and when I do a review of it, that's when I get the most attention from these fans, and then I'm set upon for the next few days after I've done my review. So I'm already prepared for it. But this time, unlike all other times, well, actually during the specials as well, actually Flux as well, I reacted differently to these fans, because that's what you have to do. You know, you just hit them with logic and move on. Simple as that. It's just sad. I'm just watching his stream last night. You'll hate me say it, I felt so sorry for him. I actually got upset watching him. This is a man that served his country, and he was sent death threats last night, all because he asked the question. He asked the bloody question. He didn't commit a crime. He didn't go and commit a terrorist act or anything like that. He asked a question. A question. And he was set upon, and he was sent death threats. And people think that that's allowed because he happened to question a narrative. It needs to stop before before it becomes a serious situation. And you know what I'm talking about. I can't say it online because, YouTube is very sensitive about using certain words. But you know what I'm talking about. We could have another situation like Caroline Flack. And again, the media are to blame for this. The actors and actresses then that also, with their propaganda and their tweets, they don't help the situation either. Again, I said it 5 years ago. I'll say it again, and I said it consistently over the past 5 years. Actors and actresses are paid to act. They're not paid to give me their political opinions or whatever ideology that they happen to believe in. Their job and what they're paid to do is to act. That's it. I do not want to hear a celebrity come out and tell me what I should and shouldn't believe, right? Because at the end of the day, that's not their job. If you want to become an activist and you want to become a propagandist, then I suggest you leave your career as an actor or an actress and go and be a politician, okay? For far too long in Hollywood, we have sat back and we've allowed these actors and actresses to spew their nonsense and not pull them up for it. At the end of the day, that's not what they're paid to do. They're paid to act. And if you look at most of the shows that are being made, they're not really putting much effort into it. Even the dialogue is rubbish. The acting is rubbish. They don't care. Once they get that message out and whatever ideology they want to bash us over the head with, that's their main focus. So, as I said, we will host a stream and how these attacks are having an impact on people's mental well-being. Now, as I said, I did one already and we had a positive reaction to it. As I said, people hearing other people's stories gave them great strength because they realized that it wasn't just happening to them, but also it gave them strength because they heard how these people were able to deal with it and move on. And that helped a lot of people. And I was proud of that stream. But I never thought I'd have to do another one. But I do have to do another one because it's as worse as ever. And at the time I even said it, and the friend stream that I watched last night, they mentioned it as well. During that stream that I did, I brought up Caroline Flack. I brought up other people as well, but I brought up Caroline Flack because she was most recent. And look how she was hounded by social media, the media, and we all know what happened to poor Caroline Flack. A life ended too soon. A woman that was betrayed to be this toxic, evil woman. No such thing. She had a fight with her boyfriend. It happens, right? Even her boyfriend didn't want to press charges, but for some weird reason, the police decided to go with it anyway. They tried to make an example of her, and then because of that, and because of their overzealous, and it was overzealous, that woman is now 6 feet under. And that could happen to someone in the Doctor Who fandom. And I don't want that to happen. No matter what opinions we all have, there would no way. Don't want that to happen. That's not what the fandom is about. And as I said, for a brief moment, there were 2 brief moments where I thought this fandom could work its shit out. But unfortunately, it's worse than ever. And as I said, in a couple of weeks' time, this last episode's going to drop. And it's going to be absolutely a living nightmare for people like me and others that are in this chat that are going to be reviewing this last episode. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. Right? But this is the end game now. We've watched every single episode. So it kind of makes me laugh that these people say I'm not a Doctor Who fan, and I'm getting it even today. Some people have decided to jump on me for some weird reason and claim that I'm not a Doctor Who fan. If I wasn't a Doctor Who fan, I wouldn't have watched this. See, the thing about it is no matter how bad this era was, I am a Doctor Who fan. And I watch this show because I support Doctor Who. Right? So, because I've watched it and I've seen how bad it is to me personally, I'm entitled to talk about that. Just like the people are entitled to talk about how wonderful and great this is and Yaz is the best as ever. If that's what you think, that's fine. Don't agree with you, but that's fine. This all needs to stop. So as I said, if you're interested to come on, share your story, share your experience. Maybe give advice to people out there that are going through this at the moment, and that's all we can do. But I also want to inform, because a lot of people that were in the chat for the first stream didn't realize all of this stuff was going on. And I think it's important. To highlight this issue because it's become worse. And I'd be devastated, and I'm going to say it out straight, even thinking about it, I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed here. I'm trying to hold it together. But I'd be devastated if one of my friends, the people that have supported me, and I found out one of them, it would devastate me. So it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Look, society out there might be going in a direction that we don't all agree with, and it might be cold and all of this, but we aren't. Individuals aren't. People just need to stop. It just needs to stop. It's gone too far. And as you know, I've been accused of all sorts in this fandom. And some of it, only recently, is actually quite shocking. I even highlighted it in a stream a few days back. all because I have a different opinion. Remember that, folks. This is why this is all insane. Remember, all of this is because people dare to have different opinions. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't know how we've even got here in society, because I thought we were going in the right direction at one stage. And people accuse me of being this, that, and the other, and ists and all of this crap. But all I want is for us as a human race to all get on, to work together. I think we have potential on this planet, but we're worried, and we're not, but some people out there are focusing on things that are not really worth getting upset about. We still got hunger in some countries, right? We still have people being persecuted in some countries. And you have people upset because someone has not used their pronouns or something. I mean, no offense, but there's more important things to be worrying about on this planet than someone forgetting to use your pronouns. To become a truly inclusive society, an equal society, well, then all the bull has to stop. The radical left have made it difficult, and they've caused a lot of harm. They've done a lot of damage to society. But it's not too late. It's not too late. It's never too late. Remember that. It's never too late to fix society and to fix our problems. But we must truly work together. Not one group or one side fighting with another, trying to take them down. We got to work together. To solve all the issues that people have in society, we have to come together. And this is why we'll never get anywhere, because nobody will work together. Nobody will listen to each other's opinions. And nobody is even open. We've seen it in the Doctor Who fandom. When you hit them with logic or facts, they will ignore the facts. They'll ignore the logic. Anyway, as I said, because I don't want to dwell on this any longer than that's necessary until we do our stream, because it's a very heavy topic. I do know that, but it has to be done. It has to be highlighted, and people need to know what's going on in this fandom, especially. But we won't just be focusing on the Doctor Who fandom. Obviously, this happens in all fandoms. So if you've got as I said, you've got a story or personal experience that you are willing to share, because I know it'll be hard. Trust me, even talking about my stuff, it was hard. Talking about this is hard. It's not easy. But just know that there are people out there that have gone through the same, and we're here to support each other. And this is why we've become such a tight-knit little group here. We've got a tight-knit group of people, and we've got everybody else that in the chat that support the channel in their ways and stuff like that. But we've got a tight-knit community, tight-knit group. We look out for each other. And I think it is important to get a conversation going because the media again, the media gets away with so much, but they fuel all of this, and they fuel those fans, and they know exactly what they're saying, and they're responsible. They're responsible for this. Remember when Jodie Whittaker was cast, the media straight away, anybody has a problem with a female doctor is a misogynist and a sexist. So they set the narrative. The media set the narrative all the time, and it gives then the fans that will support these shows the ammunition and fuel. They're fueled on by the media. And for far too long, the media have been getting away with this. Far too long. The media, I tell you, it's absolutely disgraceful. These people that call themselves journalists that work for these magazines. We've seen it in the Doctor Who fandom. They're not even journalists, they're fans. But they're fans with a certain ideology and a certain belief, and they get them to do articles, and then they fuel the fire. They can't directly come out and say, well, anybody that's not my doctor, go on and give them hell, right? But they'll write an article in such a way that will fuel these fans to go and then seek out someone that has something negative to say about the Whittaker era and attack them. And we know who the journalists are, especially within the Doctor Who fandom, that have fueled all of this, right? There's certain journalists that write articles all the time, and they're always the same few journalists. But we need to have this discussion again, and I can't believe that we are, but we have to. We've got to highlight what's going on. We've got to hold the media responsible. And I want to hear from people. I want people to share their stories, because I think it's important that people understand what's going on in this fandom and how people are behaving and how it's affecting people's mental health. Now, I know the other side will be listening to this and say, oh, Noel's a hypocrite because he's done this, that, and the other, and all of this. Again, as I've always pointed out, it's not very often that I'd strike first. And a lot of the time, these people struck first and I defended myself. Was I overzealous sometimes? Absolutely. Absolutely. But because you don't understand what I was going through mentally, you will never understand my reaction to certain things in this fandom. And that's the key thing here. You will never understand, because you are not being put under all of that daily and constant harassment, all because I don't like a TV show. But yeah, I've still watched that TV show because I'm a fan of the franchise. So it is. We need to talk about this again. We need to get it out. I want people to understand that this is a serious blight on fandom. It's a serious topic. And I think, and I'll just plead to the bigger YouTubers out there. I'm a small channel. There's only so much I can do. But there's some of you out there that have a far, far reach and have a lot of influence. And I really do think that it's time that, these YouTubers, it's happening in their fandom. It's happening, as I said, it's happening in all fandom. It's not just the Doctor Who fandom. But I think these bigger YouTubers should be highlighting the impact all of this negativity thrown towards people that will have the courage to come out and say, and you do these days. That's the weird thing. I hate even saying you have to have the courage to have an opinion. But in today's society, you literally have to have courage to I've often spoke to people behind the scenes that say, no, there's just some things I wouldn't say on social media because I know I know I can't. I know I would get set upon. And then when they tell me what their opinion is in the private chat, I'm like, well, that's a reasonable opinion to have. But even reasonable opinions, these people just can't accept. It's I don't know. I still hope. I still have hope for humanity, believe it or not. But we could be on the verge of destroying ourselves. But if we don't, we can get our act together. As I said, we on this planet and future generations, we can achieve great things if we truly work together. There's nothing more than I'd love than having everybody equal, the end to world hunger, no wars in the world. We all have that pipe dream. We all have that pipe dream, but we should always strive for it. It seems like we've hit the pause button now, and we've pressed the rewind button because we're going back through time. Feels like we're going back to the 1500s or something. It's just mad. It's mad. Anyway, I hope to do it by the end of the week. So this is the thing about doing streams like this, though. It's what day is going to suit everybody. So, as I said, if you want to be part of it, send me a DM. I will then ask you which days you are available. And then whatever day everybody picks the most, if a lot of you pick the same day along with other days that you have put, but you all pick the same day, then that's the day that we will do. I'd like to do it this Friday, but I know Friday night is a busy night for people. So if we at the end of the week, so that includes Saturday and Sunday, so we could do it over the weekend as well. But let me know what days you're available. Send me a DM if you're on, obviously, if you're on Facebook and you know me through Facebook, send me a message on Messenger. Obviously, through Twitter, if you're on Twitter and you follow me on Twitter, or leave me a message here after this goes up, and we'll try organize a way of getting your email address without everybody publicly seeing it, and I'll add you to the list. And again, give me the days that you're available, and then we will get this this stream out, and we will talk about this because, as I said, it's something that's very important to me anyway, because I've told you all my story. You all know my story. You all know what I've been through. So this is a topic that's close to my heart because I've been personally affected by it. But it's not about me. It's about people that I bring on, because everybody knows my story. I don't need to rehash everything that's happened to me. Sure, you have lived through it with me. Some of you have stayed all along the journey. So you know what I've had to put up with. But this will be for everybody else, and hopefully it'll help other people out there that have gone through something similar, and hopefully we'll be able to, and remember, we can give advice to you guys, but at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just from our personal experience and stuff. I'm not going to claim to be I'm not going to claim that this stream is going to be a therapist session, but the last one nearly really did. It kind of turned out because people were asking questions as well. And if you do have some questions as well that you'd like to ask during the stream, when we do it, remember, you're more than welcome to do so. And as I said, if you don't want to come on and share your story, but you'd like to throw it in the chat, I will throw it up and I'll read it out. And I'll give the opportunity for you to be heard, because that's a lot. This is another reason as well. A lot of people are not heard in this fandom, and they've been forgotten, and they've been discarded and treated like crap. And it's important that those people get a chance to speak up. So, as I said, if you're interested, you know what to do. Send me DM or whatever platform. Send me a message here. If there's a way that we can get your email address, we'll sort it out. Don't worry. And we will get you on. And then, as I said, the people that do want to come on, let me know what days. And if you all pick a day, that's brilliant. We'll go with that one. And we will then, I'll let you all know then. I will have the stream. Once I know who's coming on and what days, then I'll let you know pretty quick. Don't worry. So everybody is made aware of the stream. And then when the stream does go up, I'd like you all to share it and get it out there far and wide and as much as possible. Because the more people that watch, hopefully the more people that are made aware of what's going on in this fandom. Right. I know it's not me. Look, I didn't mean to bum everybody out with this stream. But I had to come on. I had to talk. I had to tell you what's going on, how I'm feeling about it all, and what we're going to do about it. So, yeah. But one final thing before I do go, one final message I have to people on our side of the fandom. I know there is some infighting, or there has been some infighting going on. Nothing that I'm involved in, thanks be to God. Nobody can blame me on this. But there has been some infighting going on with some people out there. And I would just ask you to take a step back, take a bit of a breather. And if you're not going to talk to this person anymore, vice versa, then it's best just walk away. Right? But if there's a chance for you to sort your crap out and get talking again, like I have done with some people that I had a falling out with in this fandom, then I suggest you take that opportunity. Remember, there are enough pressures in this fandom to have to deal with. You don't need to turn on each other. And I would stop the shit talking behind the scenes. I've heard stories, of course, because people tell me stuff. People come to me, and people come to me for advice. It's crazy, but they do. And I try my best. I don't claim to be an expert or know everything. I don't. I'm still learning. You learn every day. Especially when you're on social media, you learn every day. Trust me, you're always learning. It's like school. But yeah, everybody just needs to stop. If you can't get on with each other, then just walk away. That's the best thing to do. But if there's a chance to save you our friendships and to talk, I would suggest that you do. We need to, this needs to stop, There's infighting with the other side as well. We've often seen it spill out on social media. But we need to be better than that. We need to be better than that. And remember, we don't always agree. Remember, there's some opinions and reviews that I've done of certain TV shows and movies out there that people don't agree with. But these are people that are in the chat, but you don't see us falling out with each other or having a go at each other. Right, you don't agree with me, that's fine. It's fine. I don't agree with you, that's fine. That's the way it should work. That's the way it should work. So, I'm a dreamer. Maybe one day we'll actually get to a place where we are actually all chilled and we can get on with each other. But that's it. That's me fine. That'll be the message to people on our side. Just, if you can't get on with each other, it's best just walk away. Sometimes a clean break is the best thing. In other situations, if there is a chance to salvage your friendship and to put your differences beside you or behind you, I would encourage that. We don't need people turning on each other. People should be coming together. So let's hope that happens. And if not, it's sad. But a clean break is always the best. Some people have done it that used to be part of this channel, decided a clean break was best for them. It's very hard to take, but at the same time, you've got to have some sort of understanding that maybe this is the best thing for them and they do need a break. And that's just the way it is. People have their different thresholds, I always said from day one I was here for the long term and I wasn't going anywhere, and I stuck to that. 5 years we've stuck to that. Some people unfortunately just couldn't stick to 5 years because it just got too much. And that's the reality of it, and you've got to be understanding of that. And that's just the way it goes. But look, we keep doing what we do until you guys say, no, enough's enough now. And then I'm gone. As I said, we always say, Gobby says it on his streams all the time. And he's right. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So trust me, we're grateful. We're always grateful. We're humbled by it all. And, I will be forever grateful for the support that I've gotten. Even today, there's people writing nice stuff about me on Twitter, which doesn't happen too often. But people support me, let me know that they support me, and it means the world. Trust me, it means the world to us all that do this. So thank you very much, and hope to see you all very soon for those streams. Remember, we are back tomorrow though for some good stuff. So we've got the 2 watch-alongs tomorrow. So we got the member stream RTD. We're back. Member stream RTD. I think the next episode we were on, so we did Aliens of London, didn't we? We did Aliens of London and we did Dalek. So I think we're I forget. I'll have to go back, but we're doing the RTD era as member streams, as you know. We will have another member stream because, as I said, I've explained to you in the last stream that my motivation for streaming hasn't, I haven't been really motivated because of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes and all the bull. I've just been disillusioned. But as I said, the support that I've received and stuff like that keeps me going. So we'll be back for a member stream. So we have the RTD one tomorrow, and then we have the Peter Capaldi with Stephen Moffat, Series 9 now. Aren't we on Series 9? I think we're on Series 9 now. So we're nearly finished the Capaldi era, or I think we're on the last episode of I don't know, I forget, it's been a while since we did it, but we're back tomorrow. So I'm starting a little bit later than normal because I've noticed that if I start the time that I've started, that some people are having their dinner. So this is what's going to happen. The member stream RTD watch along will be at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then that'll be over and I'll be wrapped up and all within the hour. And then at 7 p.m. then that's 7 p.m. UK time, we will have Peter Capaldi's next episode that's on the list. I think it's Series 9 or the end of Series 8 that we're on, but I'll check and I'll have it up. So come and join me for them. And then also, I'll be doing, because I was supposed to do it last week, so I'll be doing my top 10 female artists, singers of all time. My top 10 list with the female artists that inspired me. So again, as I said, all of these top 10 lists that I'm doing are personal to me, because these female singers had some of their songs had an impact when I was growing up. So it's my personal top 10. So you mightn't necessarily agree where I have certain singers. It was the same with the movie stream that I did as well. My top 10 childhood movies, I think it was. And that caused a bit of a stir. But as I said, they're all personal to me. So we'll be doing that as well as the stream that I've just mentioned as well. So we're going to be busy this week, and rightly so, because, you know, I've slacked off a bit, but I've explained to you, and you all have been understanding, but it's time to get back on the horse now and to just do what we do, you know. As I said, I'm a human being. This stuff affects me just as much as it affects other people out there. And, you know, it hasn't been a great month, let's just say, last month or the month after. But I'm determined now, this month and leading up to Christmas, we're going to have a good time. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to highlight what we need to highlight. And that's a very important stream. And I hope we can get people on to share their stories, because I think it's really important. And as I said, we'll do all that other fun stuff. Now, I have been talking to Lee, and I have to talk to a few other people, but I have an idea for something. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm hoping to do something new for the channel. So I'm in talks at the moment. So once I know what's going on, and you know, we're bouncing a few ideas off each other, and then once I know what we're doing, I will obviously make an announcement. But we have some exciting stuff coming up. As you know, on this channel, you know, I think the reason why I've always done well, and that's not being big, is I've always managed to come up with something new to do. So it's been a while since I've come up with something new. I've bounced an idea off Lee, and we're going to look into it a little bit further, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something when we have a set plan. This time, as I said to Lee, look, at whatever we do, I want to have a set plan this time and a structure to it. So, you know, we're talking and we're planning things. So keep an eye out. We'll let you know. But anyway, I want to thank you all again for supporting the channel, supporting all the other people out there that we support as well. So go check out Gobby Guy's channel, Jordan Jack Rabbit, Cinnamon Toast Crunch has a channel as well. We've got the legend Scottish Stavros and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture. Go and check out their channel as well. And also check out Dan from the Space Books channel as well. Doing very well over on that channel as well, I have to say. And fair play to Dan. I have to say, Dan's channel has really, the last year especially, exploded, and rightly so. Brilliant content creator. So if you haven't checked Dan's channel out, that's the Type 40 Spacebook YouTube channel. They also have Facebook groups and all of that. Check that out. I will be doing FIFA 23. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to do something different. So I'm going to play me 4th season offline, Daniel. So I can get used to it. I've already built me 2 teams, because you get a lot more money this time. So I was able to build the 2 teams the way I wanted them. So as I'm still getting used to the game, I'm just going to play it offline until the end of my season. Now I'm coming up to the January transfer window, so I'm nearly finished it. But my second season, I'm going to stream, but I'm playing it on World Class at the moment. And at first it was hard to get used to, but now I'm getting used to it. But I'm winning 4-5-0 now, but it is against the smaller teams. But I might put it up to legendary mode when we stream online for my second season. So that's what I might do. But yeah, it's a pain in the arse. But I know I ranted about it and said it was the worst FIFA. I say that every year, don't I? But now that I've gotten used to it, the gameplay, there's still elements of the gameplay that you have to fix. But overall, I will say this FIFA actually looks more, it actually feels more realistic when you're playing. You know, they will do the stray passes and stuff like that and stuff. And they've changed the free kicks. Remember I was giving about the free kicks, said they should bring back the lion. Well, they've brought back the lion now, so I'm happy about that. And I've scored a few headers from corners now, so yeah. I was moaning about it, but I have to be honest, it's a good game. It's a good game. It does have issues, of course, it's a FIFA. But when the Force update comes in, let's hope they fix it. But when they fix it, they normally fix other stuff that doesn't need to be fixed. And that's when all year then they just keep messing around with the game. But I'll stop talking about games now because other people in the chat are not here for games. But yeah, my second season, definitely, I'll be doing FIFA 23 streams on the Irish Geek. I won't do them on the Tarda Zone. So I'll do them on the Irish Geek. So yeah, that won't take me long. So as soon as this season's over, I'll be setting up. As I said, we're coming towards the January transfer window now, Daniel. So it won't be long. It's actually, look, you said that you were thinking about getting it. And you know, I probably would have said to you, don't bother. Right? But I'm actually going to say to you, yeah, I think it is worth getting. It actually is. You can tell that they've tried with this one. Again, there's still some issues, but overall, it is a good game. It's just going to take a lot of getting used to, though. But once you get used to it, it is a good game. I judge the two, but I do it with every FIFA. Last year I was giving about FIFA 22, saying how crap and easy that was. And I said the same, well, I know how hard it was, because Daniel, you are watching. And you seen how bad I was with FIFA 21. So, anyway, there's still 18 people watching, even though I was talking about a game there. But anyway, we'll stop with the game and chat. But I suppose people were saying that they were depressed, so I spoke about something a bit funny at the end. Well, that's not funny, but something positive. So yeah, look, we're back tomorrow, as I said, for New Who. So RTD at 6:00, and then because everybody does be having their tea around that time, members will come in and watch that one. Then we'll do the Peter Capaldi one at 7 tomorrow. So 7 p.m. So people that normally will be having their tea, hopefully will be able to pop in tomorrow and do this stream with me. So, yeah. So let me know, the panel. I've seen some of you in the chat earlier. So let me know if you are available tomorrow for New Who at 7:00 tomorrow. We'll go back to the 7:00 time slot, because going earlier seems to be a problem for some people, and I understand that, because tea and all of that, tea time is 6:00. Even in Ireland, 6:00, so it's a bit stupid.
Oh, is that when other people get to have tea?
That's when other people. Could you take this chicken out now, love?
Yeah.
Yeah, take that chicken out and I'll put it on. We have barbecue. We have barbecue chicken. We're gonna have a shitload of barbecue chicken. I might even do some rice as well. I'm feeling rather, yeah, hungry. Anyway, I'm on my second account. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Right, so as I said, let me know tomorrow. Let me know if you are available tomorrow, and if you are, well, we're still streaming tomorrow anyway, so I'll be back tomorrow. But take care, everybody. And as I said, if you're interested in that stream, let me know on the different social media platforms. And again, give me a day or give me a few options, okay? Give me a couple of days this week that you're available, what days you're available. And if everybody has picked, if enough people pick the same day, if you know what I mean, then we'll do it on that day. So it's like you are voting. Just give me your days you are available, and we'll do this stream because it is an important stream to have. What Noel is having chicken and rice, and he's not inviting any of us. How rude! Oh. Chris, here, you like this comment from Chris? Come here. He says, "What Noel is having chicken and rice, and he's not inviting any of us." How rude!
Pretty much it.
Well,
lucky I'm invited.
Well, if you all want to get on a plane, fly over.
I'm lucky I'm invited.
Yeah, she's lucky she's invited. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Listen, thanks for the support, appreciate it, and thanks to everybody that's supported me recently. And we will talk to you very soon. I'll just take this banner off. There you go. Right. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'll just see. We have a chat there. Just want to make. You can swim over. Yeah. Well, I suppose if you want to swim over the channel, go ahead. Go ahead. I wouldn't swim across that, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, from Liverpool. Geez, you don't want to be getting in the water at Liverpool. I'm saying nothing before I get myself into trouble because I don't like Liverpool. I'm a Man United fan, you know, Man United fan. But you don't want to be swimming into Dublin either. Seriously. Anyway, we'll say good night. Have a good one or good evening. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.